at it.
There we are. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Brandy and Rena Show, episode 2. I'm Rena.
I'm Brandy from Brandy Burrow, Astrology and Tarot.
And I'm with Holistic Healing Therapeutics, right? No.
I think so. I believe so.
Awesome. Guys, we have a really cool show put together for you tonight. And it's Mercury retrograde. So it was kind of done on a whim, but I think it's going to be really exciting and fun. So we're going to talk a little bit about the keys tonight. Brandy does some really cool astrology things. She has kind of a vast knowledge in a lot of different areas. And I'm a big fan of true crime. I think Brandy is too. So this was really cool to put together for you. We're going to talk a little bit about Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson and just some interesting things that have come up. And yeah, maybe at the end we'll do a couple card pulls too. So if you're here, drop by, say hi, share this out with your friends because that's what we do. And something else we're looking for is if you guys have any topics that you think might come up or might be interesting for us to cover, share that too, because we're always looking for something fun to talk about.
And I think we could talk about anything. Like me and Rena just have a knack for that. We're interested in everything.
So this show is basically a really good look into what happens every day in Brandy and Rena's life. Rena drives crazy.
Oh, we have a good time. Cheryl is on here, so people are already joining in. I'm so glad. Yes, please jump on, spend some time with us, talk with us, share, all that good stuff. So yeah, what do we want to start with first? Like we have so many fun things to talk about.
Why don't I talk about the Sacred Mother Key? Since that was kind of a topic from last week, I just want to give you guys a good look at what this looks like. So this here is the Sacred Mother Key. And I brought, huge. It's huge. It's got some solid weight to it. I mean, when it's all packed up, which, you know, you got a little bit of a box because I put it in a protective box and I always put a Tootsie Pop in and, you know, a little card and a little letter. It is, I think I got it down at 13 ounces. So it's almost a pound. Seriously, it is. It's heavy and beautiful and gorgeous. And it's got a double loop and a really beautiful piece of petrified wood.
Awesome. I ordered mine and I believe it's on the way. I cannot wait.
It is on the way. I'm so excited for you. This one is really special. This is, okay, so my mom, I actually connected with my mom to ask her what she wanted me to share about this key. So I have this written down. I always come to a show with notes, so don't think I'm crazy. That's just my Capricorn moon and rising.
I'm so glad you do. We would be in trouble because if you relied on me have this whole show organized, we'd be in so much trouble.
It's really sad. Okay, so she told me most people work with the cosmos to create a blueprint for their hopes, dreams, and goals. Okay, and that makes sense when we connect metaphysically in meditation, however you're doing your work to manifest your hopes, dreams, and goals. We're connecting with that higher level of consciousness, right? What many of us don't understand is that we need to anchor this energy and create space for it to be birthed. This is an important piece of the manifestation process. You must nurture this energy with the divine feminine, and this key does that. So pretty cool stuff. This is actually a piece that I use in my advanced dowsing work to connect with the heart of Mother Earth. We can, in your higher levels of dowsing, the geomancy piece of the work, because dowsing, some people think of like a pendulum. This is, yes, that, but it's also to cure energetic disturbances and activate really cool spaces in your homes and offices and properties. There's a place that we connect with, and it creates this like a tunnel vortex between the higher consciousness level of the cosmos and the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And it's amazing. It's really cool. My chair actually sits right in that portal. So
does it? Wow.
We're doing all kinds of weird shit all day.
Nice. Well, I'm really looking forward to receiving mine because I feel like it's going to be just such a grounding tool for someone like me who's, has a lot of air energy and needs something to kind of anchor me down. And so that's what I'm looking forward to using it for.
It's amazing. So I brought some other keys just to kind of put them next to this. I know it's different when you're not in person, so it's kind of hard to see. Sometimes it's fun to look at things like this.
I have something for comparison. I have the throat chakra key.
She does. She has a throat chakra.
Try to put it as close to Rena as possible. There we go.
Yeah. So this one right here is your standard alchemy key. This is the first key that we released. July was 2 years. Look at the size difference here.
Wow.
I mean,
that reminds me of the revolution key.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
It's different, but.
So it's that same thickness as the revolution key.
Got it.
But it's got a smidge more weight to it.
Forgot how powerful this was. Like I'm grabbing it and I feel like I'm buzzing.
It is a powerful one. It's crazy.
Keep that one out. I'm going to use that one. Ooh, that's a good one.
This is your dragon key. So a little bit size difference. This one here is almost a foot long.
Dragon keys, my favorite so far. I love them all, but
yeah. Dragon key is everyone's favorite.
It's good stuff.
It's easy to fall in love with. I brought the huge Aurora Borealis key too.
Right.
It's a different thickness as well.
Right. I keep that one by my crystals in my office.
Good idea.
It just likes to live there.
And then we got, the little pendants too, which those are just teeny tiny.
Oh,
they're 2 inches long.
And these are all on your Etsy store, right?
They are. Yes.
Now some are limited though, or seasonal.
Yep. I'm looking for it right now. Oh, it's right in front of my face. The Libra key is only available during Libra season. And then we'll move on to Scorpio, then Sag, then Capricorn. So
yay. So be looking for those. I love all the keys. I really do. They're all, and like the Libra key, you don't have to be a Libra.
No, because everybody has access to these different planetary aspects and how they affect us, right? And that's where Brandy's astrology would come in. Yeah. And
yeah, everybody has a house in one of the zodiac signs. So you do have Libra energy, whether you have a planet in Libra or not. So you could definitely work with these keys for certain areas of your life for sure. Definitely.
And like with Libra, most of the Libras I know are just a little too over generous with themselves. They're my people pleasers. Okay. So they're the people that I know are looking to help everybody out, give a little bit too much of themselves. So this key is designed to bring that light back to you, offer yourself some focus, some self-care, and just making sure that you're taken care of very well, and that your Libra your Libra qualities are still shining really bright. So
balance, right?
Absolutely. Balance, fairness, because you got to be fair to yourself too.
Right? You got to, exactly. So many people joining. Tom is back. Tom is saying happy Friday Eve. Hi, Tom. Got a lot of people watching. And Kathleen wants to make sure you share the Etsy store or your Etsy site.
Oh, absolutely. I will do that. Let me do that right now. I'll pop in the comments here really quick.
And my daughter Cass is saying she needs a Scorpio one, or she'd even love to work with the Aquarius key. All right, Cass, duly noted.
That's right. We'll get you hooked up there.
My daughter Cass, very Scorpio. Very Scorpio. Yep. Okay. So we will get all the Etsy stuff posted, and yeah, we'll make sure all that's taken care of. So, awesome. Oh, Rena, you just did it. You're so fast.
Yeah, I just rocked it all out.
All right, so, in the comments.
How has your week been? I mean, it's kind of been crazy, right?
How has my week been? Like, I don't even remember yesterday.
I know.
Because I'm just taking it day by day. No, I think my week's been pretty good. So last weekend, I had my very first Zoom class, astrology class, and it was amazing. Rena was there. It was fun. Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that was really cool, getting out of my comfort zone and starting that up. And I look forward to doing more stuff like that. And so that was Saturday, but that kind of started off the last few days. Been doing readings, been busy.
That's awesome.
How about you?
I haven't been doing a whole lot. I've just been being my spoiled self, hanging out, playing with my yarn. I used to crochet, like my step grandma taught me how to crochet like 20 years ago. So I've recently picked my hooks back up, been playing with yarn, learning some new things. Before I couldn't like sew in a circle. I couldn't crochet in a circle. I just could not process how to do that. So now that I'm a little older and could understand it, I mean, it's much easier. So we're learning some things. My Halloween cowl that I'm making almost turned into a doily. I was telling Brandy about this. It was getting a little. I had to take some rows apart. Oh gosh, you guys, it was hilarious. I've been having a lot of weird dreams, but even though they are super weird, like they still make sense to me. The other night,
weird dreams, symbolic, like so much symbolism. Sometimes I'm having to like get up and do the whole internet thing of like, what does this mean in a dream? Like even I don't know. So right, yeah. Lots of interesting stuff. So I don't know what's going on with well, I know we have like more than just Mercury in retrograde, but we're definitely doing some healing, and it's amazing. Well, and this has been going on for years, but we have Neptune and Pisces in its home sign, and I just, depending on where that's on your chart, that can amplify some stuff too.
Yeah, definitely.
World. So yeah, really crazy dreams. I don't even know if I should share. Like I had this one dream. It was just like, I'm so embarrassed. It's so random, but like, I'm a strict vegetarian, like don't eat any meat at all. And background story, like fish is gross. Like I have never, ever liked fish ever. And I had this dream that I am just eating fish, and I don't even know what kind it was. It must've been little anchovies or something. They were little, and I was just eating them by the spoonful. And when I woke up, I was like so grossed out. Like for 2 days, I felt sick and I couldn't eat because just the idea in the dream, like feeling like I was eating it, just grossed me out. And I didn't even look up the meaning because I was just like, that was gross. I'm very disappointed in myself for dreaming that.
Well, same, but not for the same reasons you are. But I don't eat meat either.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, whether I eat meat or not, fish just grosses me out. And it was just ruined my appetite all week. So
I will say, although I've only been a vegetarian for a couple of years, like that transition into the vegetarianism, like when I think about meat, because, sometimes like somebody has a cheeseburger and okay, so my vegetarianism is because I am not allowed to eat meat anymore. It doesn't work with my body. I can't digest it. It's like an allergy, literal allergy. So it still smells good. I still want cheeseburgers and things, right? But then I start thinking of what it actually is. And then I'm like, I massage therapist, started my career as a massage therapist. And I'm like, this is muscle. We're eating muscle. And it freaks me out a little bit.
You are. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it just was a natural process. I just had an aversion to meat, and I finally was like, I'm going to quit forcing myself to eat this. I don't like it. And that was, I don't know, 14 years ago. And
good for you.
Yeah. If I could just quit dreaming about eating fish, I'd be
right. Right.
Well, Morgan heard you talking about crocheting, and she said that she's crocheted since she was in 3rd grade. Thanks to her great grandmother. Helps with a stressful week.
But I tell you, it's like a rhythm. I get in there and I'm just like, I like it better than the knitting. I do. And that's sick because I like to do that too. But
I didn't realize you had a preference. That's good to know. And I've really benefited from Rena crocheting and knitting. Like, I have a couple hats and myself, like last February when the big stupid snowstorm hit Austin and knocked all our electric and water out. I mean, and we were freezing. Literally, we were freezing. I had that hat on. I was just
right. Well, because it's like 90 where Brandy lives every day or something like that.
And it was like -5 with no heat. We were
and it was like 40 in North Dakota at the time. It was the weirdest. Like, it's been so weird.
It was weird. But I had my hat to keep me warm, and I was very grateful for that.
Definitely.
And Kelly is saying my grandmother always chose crocheting. Very cool.
Well, I was never really any good at it other than a dishcloth, which it doesn't matter what your dishcloths look like, right? So I just decided I really wanted to try something new. I Okay, so Abby made the Prince doll that's now hanging on Paisley Park, right? And so that's kind of my inspiration. I see what she makes and it's incredible. So I want to make little dolls. So I figured I had to start somewhere. That kind of
cool.
That's kind of what brought me back. And I really like it. It is, yes, you have to think about what you're doing, but it's definitely, there's a rhythm to it and you can get lost in it really easy. And I love it. It's crazy. And it's a sensory thing for me. I love yarn. So I have to touch it.
Well, you're such a Taurus.
It is a Taurus thing.
It's a Taurus thing. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll start thinking about, I haven't felt my yarn for a couple days. Gotta get it out.
Ooh, I love this. So Cheryl says she learned to crochet a few years ago, and she feels that her grandmother really helped her get the hang of it from beyond. I joke that I am channeling my grandmother when I crochet. No, that's for real. Like,
I have a good story to
let's
share.
Hear it. Yes, do it.
Okay, so I like knitted my little doggy as a superhero cape, right? Because one of my friends is an animal communicator, and she told me that Zeus he wants a red cape. So I mean, this is years ago. So I finally made his red cape, and it has a Z on it. And then I was like, well, I wanted to put a little border on it, and then I needed to do some straps, across the neck and one across the belly. So I was going to crochet those because I didn't want to do the knitting thing. So I kept thinking about, I should start looking up some information on how to do this because I have no idea how I'm going to do this. And 2 nights in a row, my mom had come in a dream and told me how to do it. And I didn't even look it up. I just listened to what she said and it worked, and it turned out really cool. So
I love that.
I was super impressed. So I can totally relate to that. I love it. It's a beautiful story.
I mean, I'm one of these people, and everybody will agree with this, but I believe like everybody has mediumship abilities. Everyone can connect with spirit. Me and Rena have professionally worked as mediums, and I don't know. I use that ability all the time to get answers to practical things like this, like, hey, what do I do here? And then,
yeah.
So I totally believe that.
It's amazing. I totally love it.
Yeah. Morgan, who crochets, she says she's a Taurus to a fault right here. Yeah.
Oh, girl. We got problems over here. Taurus for my sun sign, and then we have the Capricorn moon and rising. So I love all the touchy-feely things, but then I'm like, it has to be busy stuff. I have to feel like I'm working.
Not for enjoyment, guys. Like, she's working. She is working. Yes, Kelly's saying she crocheted a chunk. Am I reading that right? A chunky sweater is my first project. No pattern.
Her dog Chucky, not.
Oh, see, we're gonna have to do it again. I got this, guys. I crocheted Chucky sweater as my first project with no pattern. It turned out awesome. And we love it. Sorry, guys. I can read. I just can't see. And we sent that with him when he was cremated. I'll have to find a photo. Oh,
that's sweet.
And Amy says she needs an animal communicator.
I'll hook you up with her. She's cool. I think Brandy does it too.
I do a little bit. Yeah. Case by case. Yeah.
So we had 2 wiener dogs, and Peyton had hurt his back. We literally thought he would never walk again. And so I have a local friend who, she does a lot of the same kind of stuff I do. She came over to work with Peyton, and within a month he was all better. But she's also, he's my pain in the ass child. He's my 2-year-old. He's the toddler. He's always telling me what to do at what times and how I'm going to do it. So he actually didn't really like us for the first 3 years that he was living with us.
Wow.
We adopted him. So it was kind of like, I think he thought we took him away from his mommy, and when Trish came over and was working with him, it was literally at that point that he started to kind of warm up to us, and his big, fun, crazy personality started coming around. And so now he's my BFF. You'll hear him snore once in a while. And yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like Gypsy's like that. She was crawling around here earlier. We've had her 4 years. And yeah, it took about 3 years for her to trust us, bond with us, sit with us on the couch. And I mean, so it's only it's kind of a newer thing. It's only been going on for like a year now. And it's just, yeah, if you keep with that patience and keep working with them, they do come around.
They do. You get a little bossier each day. It's crazy. Yes. You should see in the mornings, Zeus started sitting in Mark's chair. So I got to put his blankie down in the chair, and then he'll gripe at you a little bit until you pick him up and put him in that chair. It's hilarious.
Aww. He calls the shots.
Then he has to have a morning snack in that chair.
Not spoiled. Not at all.
Never. Yeah.
Are you making fun of me? Says the power 2020 vision. Get this. I go to the eye doctor and I'm like, they test my vision and they're like, it's 2020. And I'm like, it can't be because, I can't read these comments and I don't know. So they give me these that are like barely prescription, but I'm able to read the comments with them. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Carrie has a dachshund. Oh,
I love the weenie dogs. I love their crazy personalities. They're just so much fun.
Oh, she's saying they demand to be spoiled. Well, you guys are making me want one.
They're the bomb.com for real. For real. Kelly says.
Yeah, I want to see it. Read this to me because apparently I won't be able to read it right. I'm listening.
Okay. She says, hey, yesterday was the anniversary, gals, of
that time in 2016 that you both helped out with the special investigation case here.
Are you talking about Pete, Kelly?
Is that the one I remember where I was saying cigarette butts or something were around?
I think it was.
Okay. Yeah.
That was so freaking interesting. Wow. Okay. Do you want me to talk about that, Kelly, or do you want me to keep that private?
Yeah, I gotta be careful because some of this work I'm not allowed to talk about it.
It's pretty interesting. Okay. So Kelly has a friend who passed away unexpectedly. And there's things involved in that situation that I won't go into a lot of depth, but his death was very unexpected, very tragic. And she had gotten a hold of me to see if I could maybe come help his friends who were considered his family, just kind of let them know that he was okay. And, the other side, with the transition piece. So I had some dental work done. And if anybody's ever had dental work done, they know that that's a freaking nightmare to deal with. So I needed just a few days to heal up, but it was like he had come into my space like that quick. While I was healing, I could feel him like sit on the couch next to me. There were things like I had a Sensi pot. He was moving the top of the Sensi pot, which later became a part of what he was trying to show me with things in his house. So as with the geomancy work I do, I use my L rods, and it was crazy. Like there were certain things we were supposed to look for in the house, and like looking at a wall, you wouldn't realize what you were supposed to look at, and it kept pointing, my rods kept pointing at the wall. And there were things involved with that wall, like we think he was maybe murdered. And as my dowsing rods were pointing at this wall, we looked down and saw like a stack of pillows. And I went to move the pillows, and there was a bullet right through one of the pillows. I mean, it was crazy stuff was happening. It was like, oh my God, it blew us all away. It was unreal. But his death was very tragic. Nothing has ever really come out with that.
It was weird because I'm not local to you guys, so I don't remember how. Was it you, Rena, or I don't remember. I did a remote session with him and just wrote down what he was telling me. And then it was weird because it was like,
yeah,
a lot of the same. Yeah.
Because we think there were certain people involved, and we were able to, Brandy was able to see like vehicles, and I was able to see like kind of not necessarily looks, but I could tell that it was a female that might have been involved in this. And, it was really crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy. I mean, just absolutely. I've never had, each case I deal with in the work that I do is so unique and mind-blowing compared to they're all special and all amazing and all beautiful. But this one was really, it took my skills to the next level. It was just wild and mind-blowing.
He was strong. And what I remember is he hadn't been gone very long. It hadn't been very long since he passed away, and he came through so strong. He
right.
So well. It was
right.
It was interesting.
Right. And Kelly says, and this was after the police investigation, unreal discoveries. Yeah. So like the Sensi pot thing, when we were walking through the house with my L rods, we could see that somebody had been messing with the Sensi pot, whether he had maybe been pushed into the Sensi pot. There were fingerprints there. There were fingerprints on the wall, like places, like on a cupboard that maybe hadn't been touched, that was just a little bit dusty, because nobody ever touches it. And it's probably just not a place that you'd think to like, dust like your knickknacks. It wasn't like that. So we had actually called the detective back, and there was a lot of stuff going on here during the time that happened. It was, during the Dakota Access Pipeline here in North Dakota. The whole world knows about that. I don't know if it just kind of got pushed to the back burner or what the story was, but it was really, the investigator really didn't seem interested in what we had to say. And I don't know if he just thought I was crazy, because I'm like, please don't think I'm crazy, but this is like, we had to tell somebody. I mean, this is stuff like that bullet hole would have never, it was completely out of the ordinary. It wasn't even the room he passed away in. I mean, it was just like, holy smokes, guys. It was nuts.
And it's kind of neat. We're having this conversation. That's something I don't know if people realize with our work. I've been asked by families what information I can get about suspicious deaths. This is where these abilities can really, I don't know what I'm going to say, come in handy and just be amazing and really help pull a story together and give you everything that's going on. So it's really cool.
Incredible. I like to say magical, but I'm not even sure that's the right word. It's mind-blowing and amazing. And he was a really cool spirit to work with. I just feel like working with him kind of took me to the next level, maybe gave me a different level of confidence, maybe showed me some different things. I don't know what it was. I definitely hold him very near and dear in my heart. You know, I never knew the man, but he was very well loved by his family. So,
and if I remember right, because I don't always remember everything about my readings, and I don't journal about them because I don't know. I just feel like I'm not supposed to do that for me personally. But I feel like it didn't really matter what the justice that, you know, if any justice came from it, but he just wanted it to be known. You know, like, here's what happened.
Right.
And he seemed to have peace with that. Am I remembering that right?
I think, and the family, I'm going to call them his family, but it was his friend group that was his family. They would have liked to have seen justice.
Oh, of course.
For this, of course, absolutely. But yeah, I think you're on the right track there, where he wanted them to know what happened, wanted them to know he was okay. You know, and a lot of times when people pass, we always wonder what's on the other side. Are they okay? What's this look like? And you know, science tells us that energy is never created nor destroyed, right? So I just think that our energy just exists. So yeah. No, they don't go away. They're definitely, everybody's accessible all the time.
That's how I feel. And it was great. He got to share what happened, you know, and give all the details there for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Very cool. I love that.
Cool. And that's a good segue for this whole Scott Peterson, Lacey Peterson murder case. That Rena, this is the great thing about Rena, you know, you said you weren't busy this week, which I don't know. I feel like you're always busy, but it comes in handy for me because you message me going, hey, did you know this happened? And it kind of keeps me updated. So
right. So was it yesterday? Was it Tuesday? I don't know what day it is.
Today's Thursday because it's the Brandy and Rena show.
It's Thursday. Okay, so it might have been Tuesday. Scott Peterson was going before the judge, right? And it was rumored that the judge was going to give him, he's expected to give him another life sentence, right? But he is appealing this process. And
can we like back up? Does everybody remember the Lacey Peterson? This was like in 2002. She was the pregnant one who disappeared on Christmas Eve, and in April, her baby and her washed up on shore, and Scott Peterson it was a huge trial then.
Absolutely huge. And I remember it because I was pregnant with Max. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I remember sitting in the doctor's office watching this on the TV going, oh my God, what happened? You know?
See, Ian was born about 4 months before this. So I was all in.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy and definitely so media driven. I mean, this case was huge. Worldwide huge, you know, but yeah, maybe some people don't remember it. So raise your hands, everybody, if you remember the Scott and Lacey Peterson story.
I remember.
Kelly, you don't know what we're talking about?
What?
Get
out. Oh my gosh. So that was, I mean, do they still have court TV? But during the time it was on court TV. And I mean, I watched, thank goodness I didn't work during that time. I was staying at home, raising my baby. I got to watch every bit of it. And I mean, I was just all in.
Yeah. So basically she was 8 months pregnant and disappeared. And Just kind of that time frame between Christmas Eve and what was it, April 13th,
yes,
when Connor was found. Connor was her baby's name. But I think it was just kind of the timeline speculation that she was abducted or murdered, or nobody really knew what was happening. Everybody was just kind of looking at Scott Peterson, who was her husband, and blaming him for her going missing. And then it kind of all came out in the wash that he had been having an affair. A lot of people think that this affair had been going on for months and months and months, right? And apparently she had no idea that he was married and going to have a baby. And a couple weeks before Christmas, he had told her that his wife had gone, or he had lost his wife. I'm going to go lost. Well, he didn't say widowed. It was lost. I had lost my wife. So yeah, it was weird, but they had literally only been together for 5 weeks. So if you know anything about this case or do a quick Google search on it, you're going to find a lot of speculation that this guy is absolutely guilty, for the murder of his wife and baby. And, just kind of how it was put out there, you would think that it was, I don't know. I thought for the longest time that it was due to this affair, right? I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I definitely thought he was guilty. He's definitely at the least, I'm going to say he's a scumbag, just because of the crap he was doing behind the scenes. And it wasn't
the only time he had an affair. I mean, there had been, from what I understand and read, previous problems in that department.
See, I didn't know that. He had apparently told Amber Fry that his wife knew about the affair, and didn't want him to have an affair, but wasn't going to leave him because she didn't want to break up the marriage, which I'm like, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so here's the deal. So here's another tool we can use. So you can use astrology for things like this. And even though I have my own opinions, because I'm Gemini, I have opinions about things. You can still look at a chart and kind of say, okay,
yeah,
what does the astrology kind of point to?
Right.
Do we want to look at it?
Well, I want you guys to know that I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm not saying that because I'm proud that I'm a spoiled wife, but I'm saying that because, like, when I'd come to Brandy with this, she's like, oh, he's guilty. And I was like, I don't know.
Say that.
There's some stuff behind the scenes, right? That kind of makes you go, I don't know. But we're going to kind of talk about some of that stuff. So I want to bring that, kind of full circle. We're going to have Brandy look at the chart. I'm going to mention a few things from, it'd be Crime Junkie podcast, because those girls are some of my favorite. It's episodes 2 and 3. So very early on in their podcasting career, they covered the Lacey Peterson story. So
I love this too, because I'm like, Rena, tell me what you learned from this podcast. Let's look at it again.
It's educational stuff. I promise. It at least gives me something really cool to talk about.
Yes. And I do. Was it you telling me, or did I see it on the news? His death sentence did get, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but it got converted to a life sentence.
Yeah, he had a death penalty case, and then it got converted to a life sentence, and then he must have. I mean,
in California, the death penalty practically is a life sentence because they don't.
Right.
Very often.
Look at Charlie, right? I mean,
yes.
Charles Manson. Sorry.
So what is one of the things that you heard on the podcast that we may not have known about the case before?
Okay, so there's lots and lots of twists and turns, right? And again, this is media driven. This trial was huge, and we kind of know how the media is. They're telling their own sides of the stories, right? But one interesting thing, there were actually sightings of Lacey the morning of the 24th, walking her dog, Mackenzie. Well, it was proven by their computer experts that Scott was on his computer at his office, during that same time. These sightings were reported of Lacey walking her dog in the neighborhood that they lived in, and Scott was on his computer at work.
Okay.
So that would be the first.
Do you want to see what I'm looking at as far as astrology here?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I'm going to share the screen for a second.
Okay.
So you guys can see this. So you should be able to see a chart. Is that?
Yeah, I can see the chart.
Okay, cool. Mine has a little bit of a delay. So when I was trying to figure out what time do we want to look to pull a chart on this case, I went by the last time she talked to her mom, the last time she saw her sister, which was the evening before.
Okay.
Because those are confirmed. But then I was like, no, I want to see what's going on the day she goes missing, supposedly. And in the police report, Scott Peterson said at 2:15, he called her phone and left her a voicemail. It was like, hey, babe,
Yep. The hello, beautiful call.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
It was a voice message. So I'm like, that's what I want to know. What's going on right at that moment? So that's the chart I pulled. And Lacey is going to be represented by this ascendant in Taurus.
Okay.
Which is ruled by Venus over here in Scorpio, right?
Perfect.
The perpetrator, whoever that is,
yep,
is going to be ruled by the descendant, Scorpio, which is Mars right here.
Makes sense. Mars is the war, the anger, the action, right?
Violence. Mars is violence.
Okay, there you go.
Here's what's going on that I see. Her and the perpetrator are tightly connected here. They're only 2 degrees apart. Now, what I don't like is Venus, which is Lacey, is in the sign of Scorpio, which is a detriment.
Okay.
It's also in this home sign of Mars, and then the sign Mars is in at the moment. So this person has total control over her.
Interesting.
And we got the sun in the 8th house of death. So she is likely not alive at 2:15.
What does it tell us about those two being in the 6th house, Lacey and the perpetrator?
Well, they're getting close to the 7th, but they're still in the 6th house. So 6th house is where Mars has its joy, is where Mars works the best.
Oh, so it's really going to be driven.
This is also someone who could be watching her.
Crime of passion, maybe.
This is usually a stalking house where someone is stalking.
Oh, that's good. I got some info to share later on. Hang on, guys.
Hang on to that one. Well, and here's another thing that's when you're looking at, astrology is fluid, but really most of the time when you're looking at these charts and you see the victim in the 6th house, it's not a great sign. A lot of times they don't come back home.
Can you tell me, is the 6th house, does that represent career, work, money?
Day-to-day work, not career, but like going to day-to-day routines, day-to-day work.
Okay. So put your seatbelts on for that one too.
Okay.
Maybe. It's just a speculation I have connected to what I'm going to tell you later.
Okay.
All right.
I want to know about that 6th house.
Okay. So this is really interesting too. And this is something that I'm sure none of us heard about, right? But this was in that Crime Junkie, was it episode 2 or 3? I don't know. Revert back to episodes 2 and 3 of Crime Junkie podcast. So the people that lived across the street from the Petersons were gone over Christmas, right? They must have went to, somewhere for a holiday. And there was a robbery that took place at their house. Okay. When they got back, they noticed things were missing. So they reported it to the police. With that knowledge, a neighbor had come forward to the police and reported seeing shady people and activity at this neighbor's house. Okay. When the thieves were there, or when they were apprehended, they talked of taking a large safe out of the home and basically parking it out on the front lawn. The police reported to the media that this actually happened on the 26th. Okay. But the media is like, hold on, hold the phone, because Lacey had went missing on the 24th, right? And the media had been camped outside in that neighborhood on the 26th. So there's no way that this could have happened on the 26th, or the news reporters, 10, 20, 30 news reporters would have seen something, right? Okay. So there's no way that could have taken place on the 26th. But for some reason, the police had stated that had taken place on the 26th.
So that's weird.
That's weird. That's just something that makes you go, huh? I don't know. Okay. According to documentation provided to the defense team from the prosecution, there's not a single piece of evidence to show that Scott Peterson killed Lacey or did a body dump. What do you see in that natal, or in that chart you pulled? Do you see anything
about whether Scott would be?
Yeah, if there's anything, I don't know if there's anything you can see about, and I suppose I should have probably had you pull a Scott chart too, huh?
I have one. We can totally.
Yeah, let's see if he can pull a body dump, or, if there's anything that shows murder in his chart, maybe.
Like in his birth chart, like maybe some kind of psychological.
Right. And there's also nothing in his history to show violence.
Okay, so let's look at his chart and just kind of get a feel of what kind of characteristics he might have.
Yeah.
We're going to do this live. I've kind of glanced at it. So let's kind of pull this up here. So here's Scott Peterson. He's a Scorpio.
Oh, interesting.
So look at this. This is a 7th house. This will represent his marriages. It's also relationships and other stuff, but this is where you're going to find information about marriages. Okay. He has Saturn here. So a lot of times that can indicate struggles or having to mature before having a solid relationship or marriage.
Or maybe having to accept responsibility for something related to your marriage.
Could be. It could also mean for some people, because astrology is fluid, these things mean many things. Some people have Saturn in the 7th house when they have long marriages. Linda McCartney had that. Her and Paul were married till she died. But in this case with Scott, what I'm seeing is this is more like a challenge. And this isn't a double-bodied sign. So he's going to have more than one marriage likely. I think he might have been divorced before. I'm going from memory. I don't know, before Lacey. But anyway, more than one marriage here. Now, the rulership, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, goes to this 12th house. So we do see a loss of a spouse as a possibility. So that's definitely showing up. He's a Sagittarius rising. He also has Neptune right on the ascendant. So for some people, again, this can mean many things. So if you have Neptune on your ascendant, don't think that this is the only meaning. Yeah. This could be a possibility of someone who doesn't always tell the truth.
Sure.
Or who could be someone who's victim, could be victimized very easily. So you can go a couple ways there. So that's the first thing that catches my eye. His Sun and Mercury are in the 12th house in Scorpio. We are dealing with somebody who has secrets.
Oh, and we know that. I mean, even just from the Amber Fry crap, he told her that he was in Europe. He was watching fireworks from the Eiffel Tower. I don't know.
Yeah. And because they're in the 12th house is like secrets as well, or underground things you can't see, but it's in Scorpio. Scorpio is very private and can be secretive too. So, it's kind of a double whammy there. This guy has secrets for sure. And it's proven that that's, fact about him. He does have Venus in Virgo, which is in a fall. It's not the best sign to have Venus. So a little extra work when it comes to relationships as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe he requires a little extra work in relationships.
Yeah. And here's a big one right here. So he has Mars in Libra. This isn't a detriment because Mars is at home in Aries, an opposite sign. It's conjunct with Uranus. That's someone who's impulsive.
Interesting.
Who impulsively acts.
Interesting.
So that's a little insight on Scott Peterson.
Yeah. So apparently, okay, according to Crime Junkie podcast, the media heavily influenced this case. Again, I'm going to mention that again. Jurors admitted to, after being called for jury duty, if they hadn't heard of this case, they then went home to Google it. So they had already went into this kind of, you know, well, we think he's guilty because you're seeing this piece of the live action that's happening. Again, I swore he was guilty too. There's just a few things about this case that, you know, just really make me scratch my head. We're getting there, I promise. Keep your seatbelts on.
Tell us more.
So this was another interesting piece I found. According to a computer expert brought in by the prosecution, there was computer activity in the home on December 24th after Scott supposedly went to work. Someone was looking at a red scarf and a sunflower umbrella. Lacey loved sunflowers. Now that doesn't mean that Scott didn't do this. You know, I don't know.
Did they have a time stamp of when they saw these computer searches?
You know, they didn't say anything on the podcast of what these timestamps were. Just that they had, you know, they must have had something. I don't know if it's out in the media. I'm sure we could Google it and figure it out. But just that when supposedly he was at his shop, office, whatever you call it, it was outside of the house. He was a fertilizer salesman, so I'm assuming it's probably more like a shop condo type of an office. He kept a boat in there, and I know it was a little ways from the house, so his computer was logged on with activity happening. However that's looked at, I don't know, my son could probably figure out how that was done, or your daughter, but just that's kind of when she was seen walking the dog. And then after that, it was either right before or right after that she was looking at this umbrella and scarf. I don't know. Now, Scott did not use this in his defense. So this was totally brought in by the prosecution. And this led to the prosecution changing their approach to this case mid-trial, which is completely unheard of. So they were going with one approach, and then this information came out by their expert that they brought in, and they're like, whoa. Okay, well, we're gonna go over here and try to bring them in on this now. So very interesting. There was a test done by the defense. This test was done 4 times in a boat the same size that Scott has used, because he apparently was going to go fishing that day, right? Mm-hmm. They took 150-pound body-shaped weight in a boat that same size that Scott had to the San Francisco Bay, and they had a guy try to push it in the water. Okay, he did this 4 times, and 2 of those times he almost drowned. This was not admitted into court by the judge because it was considered inflammatory. Jurors wanted to try this test, but the judge would not permit it because it was too dangerous.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, it wasn't like a pontoon. It was just like your little fishing boat, probably a little skinny. God, I don't know my boats either. So I'm over here talking smack, but just some interesting stuff.
Well, here's something interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting? No. I was thinking this had something to do with what you're saying, but it may not. Let me just show you what I'm seeing on this 215 call, because he's not home, right? He's supposedly out fishing still.
Maybe had just got done fishing, because he wasn't going to work that morning. I think he was going to go pick up his boat, and then he was going to Berkeley Marina to fish, which was in the San Francisco Bay, because that's where Lacey and Connor was found, you know, but.
Well, look at this chart at 215 when he's leaving her a voicemail. So in these charts, Saturn always represents the body if you're dealing with someone who's deceased, and it's in Gemini in the 2nd house, so in possession, right? If we think he did it, I'll put it that way. He has possession of the body. Look at Mercury up here. These are in mutual reception. Mercury is in Saturn's sign. Saturn is in Mercury's sign. This is ninth house which is bodies of water. So this looks like whoever the perpetrator is has possession of her body, and it looks like it's out in a body of water. There's some kind of connection with that.
Interesting.
Okay, go ahead. I just saw that.
Also the tracking dogs that they used, which I know tracking dogs can't always be considered 100%. You know, it's kind of whoever their handler is, how they're trained, that kind of stuff. But these dogs failed their certification test.
Oh.
So just kind of some interesting things.
It definitely brings question into it, right?
Yeah. So here's a little bit about Modesto from the podcast. Modesto is known as not a tiny, quaint town. You know, it's considered a bigger city. The town motto: water, wealth, contentment, and health. Okay. Now, the people that live there say murder, meth, auto theft. And that's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. Just that there's a lot of stuff that happens there that's kind of shady.
And was still like that in 2002, right? They're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about missing women, because Lacey isn't the only woman that had went missing. Between 1999 and 2002, there were 7 pregnant women in the Modesto area, not just Modesto, but in the Modesto area that had gone missing. 3 of these women were from Modesto, 4 within an 80-mile radius. Now, in California terms, to me, that's not crap. I mean, that's like Minneapolis driving to the other side of the city. You know, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't live in a big city, so I don't know what that means. I shouldn't be talking like this. What does that mean, Brandy?
I live in Austin, which is kind of a big city, but not like a huge city, like 1 million people, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Evelyn Hernandez was 8 months pregnant and had went missing within 6 months of Lacey going missing. She didn't get any media attention. Her story didn't, because the Lacey Peterson case was so huge that other things just weren't really being looked into at that time.
Right.
One woman was 8 months pregnant on Christmas Eve of 2002, the exact same day Lacey went missing. This is really interesting. So hold on to the seatbelts, because here it is, guys. She was working at a shop she owned, and there were men outside stalking her. She felt really threatened as they were following her around. She actually called the police, and when the police arrived, they left, and then everything seemed to be okay. That was right before Lacey went missing, earlier that day, that they had been at her shop. She had her baby the same day that Connor was found. So, I got goosebumps. I don't know. You were mentioning stalking, so I just had to throw that last little tidbit in there. That's what I had for show notes.
That's what Kelly was saying, stalking.
Yeah. Kind of creepy, guys. I don't know. It just kind of blew my mind. It just kind of makes you look at things in a little bit different angle. I thought it was really fascinating.
It does. It almost makes me want to go back and see the last time we know she's heard from, which is December 23rd at 8:30. Let's look at it. Because she had a conversation with her mom on the phone. So we do know for a fact someone was in contact with her at that time. So let's look at that. This is 8:30 the night before.
Okay.
So she would be the sun in Capricorn in the 5th house.
Tom said serial killer, maybe that, or maybe somebody who wanted the babies. You know, I mean, it's kind of weird to talk about that, but I mean, we even had a case here in North Dakota of a pregnant woman, the Savannah, was it Savannah Graywind? She was pregnant and her neighbor, invited her in, and they killed her and took her baby, and they were going to raise it like her own. like their own, excuse me.
Right.
Kelly says, yes, Savannah Greywind.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's interesting on this chart the night before, this same Mars Venus we're looking at for the chart the next day is right on the fourth house cusp, which is endings. So yeah, we, you know, hindsight's 2020. You can go back and look at this and know, yeah, it's not going to end well.
And that's in her fourth house. Maybe, well, that's ending in the fourth house. That's family. Maybe that was just their goodbye, you know, maybe they didn't realize it.
This is endings. Yeah. And her fifth house of children here. It's ruled by Jupiter in the 12th. So there's loss. So things are already set in motion. That's what I'm gathering from that. Things are already set in motion here for.
Very interesting.
Things that make you go,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, totally weird. I had to bring this up to Brandy because when I heard that he was going before the judge about this appeal, I was like, I remembered hearing about the Crime Junkie episodes and that they had laid all this interesting stuff out. And I was like, whoa, I mean, it just really blew my mind. So I really wanted Brandy to take a look. Kind of gives you guys a little bit of insight as to how interesting her career really is and the things that she can kind of pick apart and see. It fascinates the hell out of me.
Yeah. So what where that leaves me right now, I have an opinion. I do have some questioning. So I'm wanting to do some like further diving in, get some different timestamps because that's important in astrology. You got to have certain times to look these things up.
Right.
Look at it a little further.
And I knew that maybe I should have done a little research and given you some better timestamps too.
But you know, Brandy prepared a little better. Brandy was like looking at these charts today, but you know, no, it definitely makes you want to look further into it. There's some wonkiness for sure. For sure. But this is how you can use astrology to look at things like this. Carrie is asking, do you ever do that with current cases like Gabby? I pulled a chart at the beginning when she was missing before she was found. I sent it to Rena because we were both talking about it, of course. And I know the outcome didn't look good, but yeah, I was looking.
He is not in that Florida reserve. I promise you that.
We should map it. Maybe we'll do some mapping and look at that next week if he hasn't been found yet, or if he has, you know, we can see how you can look out.
I kind of have a strong feeling about two places. The Appalachian Trail had been mentioned that, you know, that was kind of one of his things that he did right before him and Gabby went on this trip. He had taken a trip and spent time in the Appalachian Mountains, maybe knew that that was a good hideout spot. I don't know. I'm not trying to talk crap about anybody, so please don't take it that way. But you get in those mountains, you know, you have people that have their pieces of property, right?
Yeah.
He probably knew that that was probably a good place for him to go hide out because, I mean, a lot of those people are what we would call sovereign, you know, kind of taking the law into their own hands. Don't come on my property unless I invite you, kind of thing. Maybe the law knows that. Maybe he kind of had some hidden spots he remember. I don't know. Or I think he might be in Mexico. Seriously, one of those two options for me. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
I tell you what, maybe next week, maybe this week I'll look at the maps and pull the charts and we'll see where astrology lines take it. Because I definitely use astrology for that as well.
All right, guys, get your Dog the Bounty Hunter numbers ready so that we can line them up for Brandy and you guys can call them.
I don't want to talk to Dog personally, but I'm happy to share what I see.
I would rather John Walsh find him. Just saying, I think John's a little bit more interesting in my
Just keep that one. We don't have to go into that.
I do think his parents know approximately where he is at. They might not know the exact location, but I definitely think they know his plan. I think
they know more than they're letting off.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You guys,
I'll get my charts ready. I have a couple. We'll look at them. If you guys are interested.
Very interested. And like I mentioned before, we're looking for topics. What do you guys want us to talk about? We're just here hanging out with you guys, doing something different.
I don't know, Rena, we might be turning into a forensic astrology show.
Oh God, I would love that so much.
I mean, it's my dream. So
we have a big case here that just happened in North Dakota. It just went to trial here. I would love for you to pick apart the Chad Isaak case. If you guys have not heard of the Chad Isaak case or the RJR murders, please Google that, because I would love to know what you guys think about that too. It's weird. It happened. Oh my God, Kelly, what is that? Like 2 miles from our house, like 2.5 miles. It is the weirdest damn story to me. And there's just pieces of it that don't make sense. I started listening to this new podcast. I love podcasts, you guys, because here's why I love podcasts, because I'm still getting my stimulation while I'm folding laundry and cleaning the house. So it's like watching TV, right? Doing my Taurus things.
Mandy, I think he's a Scorpio, but I'm not sure. I'm going from memory.
Interesting. Yeah. So, it was a hot topic here. I literally watched every minute of the trial that took place here in August, and, it fascinated me. There were things that I don't know if I know investigators keep things to themselves, and certain pieces of the puzzle, but I'm just not so sure he did it by himself. There are just pieces of this case that just make me go, there's no way that one person could have did this. I don't know. It's fascinating.
Let's look at that one. Yeah, we'll get some stuff going on that. It'd be a good conversation to have.
I love Scorpios. Scorpios.
I do too. I'm married to one.
My boss is one. No, he's not. Rising. He may as well be one. He's mysterious. I dated one for a while, right out of high school. He was the most interesting person I have ever met. Very mysterious. He was fun. He liked to wear, and he was not a pimp. He was just a lot of fun and liked to wear costume kind of stuff, but he'd always wear these funky hats like you'd find at Spencer's, like that kind of shit. He was a lot of fun.
Hey, I've been married 22 years to a Scorpio. They're great. I love Scorpios. But yeah, I'm going from memory though, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Interesting. Yeah. So maybe we just got to talk about some forensic stuff.
Love it. Well, we'll talk about anything. You guys just let us know, or and I don't know. I don't even know if I should put this out here. I'm Gemini mouse just talking, but even if there's some, missing person cases or, that aren't as famous as Gabby or Lacey, we could look at those too, you let us know.
I had a vision earlier that maybe like 1 week Brandy just like gives me a topic and I start doing some research and taking notes, and she brings all this stuff to the table, and vice versa. Same thing, like, hey, look up this date and tell me what you see on this. I suppose you got to know what you're looking for. Could I just give you a date and you could pick it apart, and maybe I could bring to the table and like tell the little story, and you can go, oh yeah, I picked this.
If I have a date and time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Times are important in astrology.
Oh, Morgan says, my ex-husband is a Scorpio and he is marrying wife number 3 in a couple of weeks. That doesn't surprise me. They're very passionate people. I'm just going to leave that there.
Be interesting to know his rising sign. See what's going on in that 7th house.
Carrie says, solving crimes one Thursday at a time. Yes,
we do our part. Yeah. And actually, people have had me look at missing person cases here and there. I just want to put this out there. It's actually not something I charge for. So I just like that to be known, astrology, I charge for natal and all that. But if someone comes to me with like detective work or family is in need, that is something that I like to help with.
Didn't you look at the missing soldier case down in your area?
Not for their family. Personally, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have a base not too far from you, right?
Fort Hood. Yep.
there is a lot of weird shit that happens there. I've heard so many interesting stories about people that mysterious deaths, and like I know I'm not talking crap. I have huge respect for all military people, but I know behind the scenes some things can get weird sometimes, and I know there's a few stories off the top of my head of weird things that have happened there. So
yeah, I was looking at one. I was actually mapping it, and they were doing a search for her, and they had stopped the search in the area. I was looking at the ascendant line. I'm like, I think she's on that ascendant line. And they were searching there, and they stopped and said, no, we can't find her. And I was like yelling at the computer, no, keep looking. But they did go back and found her and where the ascendant line was. So yeah.
Very, very.
Sometimes astrology can point you in the direction.
Tom knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What is that base called?
Fort Hood.
Fort Hood.
Fort Hood. Yeah.
Oh, Fort Hood. Jesus. Why did I say head?
I have a twang when I talk. Hood.
Yeah, that's the problem. I can't understand you guys.
I know. We have our own language. I don't want to talk shit though. I don't want to, I'm scared. Yeah. There's been some well-known cases out of there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I can think of one in particular. I can't remember his name or where he was from, but he had went there. And like his peers at home talked about how amazing of a person he was, but his military mates must not have liked him very much. He mysteriously died. They found his Mustang. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that was really weird. The family had absolutely no closure. They're not even sure they got the right body when his body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, just weird stuff.
I've worked on a few cases out of there. I actually worked with a family for a missing soldier who had a happy ending. He was found alive, and we were mapping it, and he was on the degree line we were looking at, but way further out of state. But yeah.
Tom says Waco's not too far away. Well, maybe there's some stuff there. When you do mapping, maybe I can do some of my mapping too with the work I do, and we can kind of see. Yes. That might be fun.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do that.
That might be fun.
Kelly, the famous musician's murder in the pool. Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones. It's on my website. That's the astrology really tells the story on that one. It's interesting.
And Tom says it's the water. Actually, Tom, you might not be wrong. And let me tell you this. This is something in my work with the geomancy. And then it's like all this stuff's coming full circle. Because yesterday I was flipping through the channels after I made dinner, and Unsolved Mysteries came on, and not Robert Stack, because Robert Stack's the bomb. It's the other guy. But it was really interesting. Somebody who does the same kind of work I do, they were talking about a house that had a lot of spirit activity, right? And this person had come in, and again, she must have been into the geomancy work like I do. She had talked about aquifers under the house, and it fuels spirit activity.
Is it like a conductor?
We aren't quite sure if it's a conductor or if it's a source that they use to fuel their travel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it kind of creates portals. I don't know. It's something that like I had to download a cure for, if that makes it's weird. And it's not something you see a lot, but like we live near a river. My mother-in-law has stuff at her house. I had to do that kind of a cure for hers because she actually has like a drain very near her house, like almost runs right under her house. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, like a vehicle. That's what Tom is saying. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. See, Mercury retrograde, I can't talk. And I can't talk when it's not Mercury retrograde either.
I can't either.
It's really bad now.
I'm with you. It always does that to me. Well, hey, I promised a couple of card readings. I almost forgot because I'm a Gemini and I do that. I tell you what, though, we can't do it for everybody, but if you will post a specific question, I'm going to be drawn to pull for those people. So whoever wants a card and it needs to have a specific question. What do you think, Rena? Am I being too bossy?
I mean, I live for bossy, so just how it is. You got to be bossier than me to get away with it. So
not bossy very often. I mean, oh my gosh, I used to be so passive. So passive. And then something happened 10 years ago. I just lost my cool. And
Tom wants to know where his other shoe is.
Your soulmate. All right. I'm actually going to pull on that one, Tom, because I like that. Tom wants to know where his soulmate is. That was
very good. Oh, I might pee my pants.
Oh gosh, I'm just a messenger here, Tom. So, I always like to state that before somebody's not going to like my answer. You do have a soulmate, okay? You don't know them yet, but you're going to be looking for someone out of state. I know. I'm going to wait for Tom's response. He's going to be like,
I'm going to pull for Kelly, just so you know.
Okay. Out of state, you will connect. Don't give up, because like right now you're kind of in the mindset where it's too much work, too much fight. I'm tired. I mean, last week we were fighting over him. We sure were.
Can we be real? Even when you find your soulmate, it's going to be tiring. That's just how relationships.
Enjoy your rest.
Yeah. Take your time. It's all good.
He's like going for tropical. Hey, that sounds fantastic.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Maybe I should go on a vacation.
Honestly, I'm drawn west, so I'm trying to think. You're in Missouri, Tom. You may have to go really tropical to like Hawaii or something.
Think so? You don't think you could go to like San Diego or something like that?
Maybe. Palm trees? All right. I'll let you read for Kelly and we'll let Tom sit with that. Don't give up, Tom. It's going to happen though.
Hang on.
Do you see we put Jagger to sleep back here?
Yeah, Zeus
is totally bored with our astrology, I guess.
Kelly wants to know how she's supposed to respond to this week's situation. With love, compassion, and honesty. You need to stand in your truth and speak your truth. Again, go back to the love and the very gentle. I'm having Cancer energy come up for this. This is actually on my card. It says Cancer energy. So just in case that means anything to you, Kelly, because it does to me. I don't know how personal I should get with this, but this is just moon qualities coming out. So showing force, showing action, needing to show themselves bigger than they are. So just stand in your truth. You know what's real. Just be compassionate. Let them do what they need to do, and it's going to blow over. How does that sound?
Says, holy crap. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. You're doing what you need to do. Just let it.
I'm going to read for you. I'm just drawn to pull this card about your question. It says, am I headed in the right direction in my business? Sorry, Rena, did I give you a chance to close up?
Yep.
All right, Brittany, are you headed in the right direction in your business?
I'm going to listen in on this one too, because I feel like this is my answer too.
Yeah, I'm really drawn. Oh, yeah. Like, I need to draw cards on this. Okay. So one, yes, you're in the right direction because I got this star card right here. So, but there's some more that comes with this answer. You're in a good direction. I do think there's a couple of things you could change or tune up or maybe change your mindset about. That's kind of where I'm headed with that. you know, in a couple ways you feel like you're trapped, like this is all I can do. This is all I can offer. You are limiting yourself when you don't need to be limited. Like there is a lot of different opportunities and you're not restricted at all, even though you feel that way. So you need to, as much as you can within business, you need to get a little childlike about it, like having these big dreams, these big goals, and just saying, yeah, I can do this. You know, you need to have a little bit of that free-spirited, faithful attitude. Does that make sense? Yeah, she says she's listening. Good, good. I almost feel like there's something else that you're trying to be shown or that you've thought about and you might think it's impossible and you're supposed to be bringing that in. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, you're doing well. Add some more stuff in.
Beautiful.
Leave you with that star. I love it when the star comes up. I'm like, you're gonna be all right.
Yes.
Rena, Brittany.
I hear it. Sorry, Brittany, I invaded on that one.
She piggybacked.
I did. It was a good message.
No, I might take it too. I think that I can resonate with that too. I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Morgan.
Oh, yeah, she lost her friend.
That sucks. Yeah, that stuff really, it's going around again, that's for sure. Make sure you stay healthy, take good care of yourself, extra sleep.
Good energies. So she's glad she jumped on. Yeah, I'm glad. Maybe we could give you an hour and a half of some distraction here and just.
Yeah. Why don't we pull a card for Morgan before we bail?
I think we should. Should we both, or do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's both do it.
All right, this is for Morgan. And I believe Morgan asked something earlier. Let me kind of go up in the comments.
Oh, did she?
Will a promotion come through at work? So how about I draw on that and you want to draw her a card of encouragement?
Yeah.
Look at me like bossing Rena around. Let me tell you how to read your cards, Rena.
Yeah.
All right, this is for Morgan. I'm going to look at the promotion at work. No, Morgan, I think you got a pretty good chance. I really do. You got some pretty positive cards here about things coming together at work, things being really fair, people really liking you. You're looking really good, good reputation. There is a little bit of hesitancy though, on moving forward. Like part of you wants it and then part of you is like, oh, but I don't know if it's about like leaving people or going to a different department, something like that. That's a little bit in the back of your mind, but I don't think it'll keep you from advancing forward. So I think you got a great shot at that promotion. I'm gonna predict yes.
I have a lot of the same messages coming through. I think this is a really good time to realize that what you think is what you create. And this is a fun time for you to get playful with that energy too. It's like definitely like the butterfly emerging from the cocoon with this. It's a really, really cool energy. And this is a big realization for you. This is like, wow, I manifested that. Yes, you did. Absolutely.
Powerful Taurus.
She did say she was a Taurus earlier.
Yep.
Taurus are some of the best manifestors. I'm telling you, girl, we got this. That's right.
Yep. She's saying nail on the head about the hesitancy. Yep. That's okay though. I think you know what direction you need to go, and it's okay to have, a little sadness sometimes about moving forward, about what you're leaving behind, but I don't think it'll prevent you from going forward. So it's okay. You're doing good.
Definitely. You can take all of that with you. This is what I see. I see you like carrying it forward with you and growing. So.
And those people want you to do well. Like I just got that image. Like they're really wanting to push, you know, they're happy for you and wanting you to succeed and do, you know, have what's best for you. So if that helps.
Definitely.
Rena, this is so fun. It's like I don't know how to like make the break here and get off the show. Because
all right,
I could stay here till
guys.
midnight.
All right, we got to put Brandy to bed. She's got to work early in the morning because she's got a real life. Part-time. Very part-time.
I have a part-time life, and then I have my part-time readings tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow. But I do have some openings next week in my schedule. You can find me at brandyburrowastrology.com. You can book the astrology, you can book the tarot, you can book palm reading, and I even send distant Reiki. Like I just do a little of everything. And I also do bookkeeping, which I'm not hiring for at the moment, but I do everything. So that's where you can find me. Rena, where can they find you?
holistichealingtherapeutics.com. I have lots and lots of stuff to offer. You can also find me on Etsy at Purple Rain & Co. Like rain, like a king reigns. How's that sound? Purple Rain & Co.
Love it. And if you have any questions or need to find us, you can always comment on here, find us on Facebook. We'll get you to the right direction. So
absolutely. So we'll be here next week. We'll definitely pull in some more of this criminal astrology and see if anything else comes up. So
I can't wait. Look forward to it. So we will see you then. Thanks, Rena. It's fun as always.
Thank you.